Welcome to Spiritual Psychic with Sarah Wiseman, where you'll learn how to unlock the secrets of spiritual intuition and your own psychic gifts. Here's Sarah.
Welcome to Spiritual Psychic. I'm Sarah Wiseman. Today we're talking about how do the events that happen in our lives guide us. And we're working from the book Messages from the Divine. We're on lesson 44. So we go out into the world and things happen to us. And if you are a connoisseur of synchronicities, you've learned to master how to follow those. How do you follow those along the strands and the flow, which is a different subject, which we'll cover in a different podcast later. But when you are paying attention to synchronicities, you understand clearly that the events that happen to us are not random in any way. Nothing, no part of whatever happens to you on a timeline in your day is random. And again, timeline, that's just a paradigm we use, not really a timeline as everything's now. The events that happen are not random. And if you want to use this idea of us attracting things, you might consider that you are in the middle of this swirling vortex of the universe. You're this little attractor. And you are, as a soul energy, you're in the middle of this swirling everything, and you are attracting to you, or you are calling into you, what needs to be attracted to you to help you in your expansion. So this is how it goes in our lives. We step out the door, things happen, or we stay inside and things happen. And really, there's not any way to escape. Like, you can stay inside all you want, stuff is still going to happen. You can head out all you want, stuff is still going to happen. The universe can reach you with events, and whatever needs to happen is going to be happening in terms of the events that you need to have happen are going to come to you. So, this can happen in ways that, sometimes events seem unpleasant or very, very difficult. And sometimes events seem very exciting. So the universe, the Messages from the Divine says, sometimes this shift can be enormously enjoyable and exhilarating. The seemingly instantaneous success of a project, the meeting of a new love, an invitation to travel, and so forth. These are wonderful times worthy of celebration, these events that happen that seem very positive in nature. And yet, there are also times, the book says, when sudden shifts come that do not initially seem positive in nature. Sudden illness, loss of a job, loss of finances, death of a loved one, loss of relationship. These life events knock us off balance, sending us spiraling down into grief and pain and fear. Now, when we talk about negative events, I want to go back to that idea of you being an attractor. The idea that we only are going to attract positive events and we are going to repel negative events. This isn't really how it works. Remembering that we are souls here for soul growth, and in some lifetimes we make these agreements before we come in that we want to experience this or we want to experience that, or a piece of our understanding is missing. We haven't approached it yet, or we start to get to work on like the really difficult lessons. And we do this of our own choosing. And sometimes the things that seem, as we all know, the things that seem negative, we lose our job and it turns out to be the best thing that ever happened, right? Or we lose a relationship, and that also, we grieve it, and then it turns out to be that breakup was the most freeing thing that led us to meet someone else that was like the best person in our lives. Anyway, just looking at this idea that the events that are happening to you are not random. The events that are happening to you serve as ways of guiding you. And when you start to pay attention to every little synchronicity, you can begin to navigate a flow state that will lead you to further expansion. I'm Sarah Wiseman. We are working from Messages from the Divine, the book, and you can find me at sarahwiseman.com.